Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about electron diffractions, one of the very important topic of scattering spectroscopy. So electron diffraction, what is electron diffraction? The basic introduction is electron diffraction method is based on the wave nature of matter. This phenomena is commonly known as wave particle duality. So basically electron diffraction method is based on wave nature of matter. So what is the wave nature of matter? Basically matter shows two nature. First is wave and second is particle. So basically this electron diffraction method is based on this wave nature of matter, not particle nature of matter. So this phenomena is also known as wave particle duality. In case when you appear in your semester exam, so when the question has come like what is the wave particle duality, so you don't confuse, it is similar to electron diffraction, the same concept used in electron diffraction and wave particle duality. So basically these both are same, and which state that a particle of matter can be described as a wave. This technique is similar to X-ray and neutron diffraction. So basically electron diffraction technique is similar to X-ray and neutron diffraction. And the electron diffraction is most frequently used in solid state physics and chemistry to study the crystal structure of solid. Okay, so these are the basic introductions about electron diffraction, and I provide a handmade note which is, I hope, helpful for your semester exam as well as any competition exam preparations. Now the theory portion of electron diffraction is Louis de Broglie originated the idea that moving electron may exhibit both particle and wave nature. He proposed that analogous to photon, the wavelength of the electron is given by. So basically when we find out the wavelength of any electron, so this formula we use lambda equal to h upon p, where p is momentum of electron, which also denoted by mv. So basically lambda equal to h upon mv. This formula is given by Louis de Broglie, and it is very important formula for electron diffraction. This is the theory portion of electron diffraction, where h is Planck constant and p equal to mv is the non-relative electron momentum. So basically these are the basic principle. In this principle electron diffractions are work, and this experiment is an attempt to see whether electron really do act like particles. Okay, now the two condition we get after using this theory in electron diffractions, we get two important conditions that are, first is if electron behave as particle. Okay, the first condition is if electron behave as particle rigid sphere, the distribution of electrons will vary continuously as a function of angle. As in diagram, this distribution will vary only slightly with change in electron energy. So these are the first condition we get, and these are the electron beam and this carbon target. When electron beam are passed through this target, so the electron energy when distribution of electron will vary continuously as a function of angle in diagram. These are the angle in diagram. We vary that electrons by this angle of diagram. So these are the first important condition, and the second important condition is if electron behave as a wave, however a diffraction pattern will emerge. We can make on analogy with the diffraction of X-ray by a crystal. These are the second important condition. So these are the important conditions. Now the instrumentation part we discuss about the electron diffractions. Instrumentation of electron diffraction is also very important. Some kind of important diagram which is very important to understand the concept of electron diffraction. Basically what we do, electron gun, it is one of the type of electron source we use. Tungsten is used to produce the electron beam, so that's why we use electron gun. And after some time before entering a thin graphic screen, the electron shows particle property, but after this thin after this electron pass through this thin graphic screen, electron shows suddenly wave properties. Okay, and we use the evacuated tube, this is, and when electron gun is just passed through this thin graphite screen, we get yeah, and then electron source wave property. After we get two type of diffraction ring. First this is when we use low accelerating voltage, we get this diffraction ring, and when we use high accelerating voltage, we get this diffraction ring. So these are the basic instrumentation part of electron diffraction, and these are the basic diagram of that to understand the concept. So basically electron can produce electron beam, and electron shows particle property before that pass through the thin graphic screen, and after that electron pass in thin graphic screen, then electron shows wave properties, and then we get two diffraction ring. So these are the basic instrumentation you said of electron diffractions. Okay, now the important point is important topic. The other important topic related to electron diffraction is electron diffraction of gases and vapors. It is also very important individual topic, as you say, for your semester exam and any exam preparations. So like electron diffraction of gases and vapors, what is electron diffraction of gases? Provide a powerful tool for determining the geometric configuration of molecule and the distance between atom in them. So basically the electron diffraction of gases is a very powerful tool to determine the geometric configuration of any compound or any molecules. The principle of this procedure is much similar to that of powder method of X-ray analysis. When a beam of monochromatic X-ray is passed through a gas or vapor, and the diffracted beam is allowed to fall on a photographic plate for several hours, a definite pattern consisting of a number of concentric rings is obtained on the photographic plate. So these are the basic principle that in this principle electron diffraction of gases is work. I hope you understand. So basically the principle of procedure is also similar to powder method of that X-ray analysis. Now the schematic diagram of this electron diffraction of gases, it is very important to understand the concept. So basically this filament is electron gun we use to produce electron beam. So and we also use accelerating voltage to accelerate this electron beam monochromatic X-ray. Then these are the jet of molecules, and this is important part of this instrumentation to produce gas or vapors. So basically when this electron beam monochromatic X-ray, you also said, is passed through this gas and vapors that diffracted in photographic plate. Okay, and these are pumping line also used in this instrumentation. So basically filament is used to produce electron beam. Then electron beam suddenly pass through the gases and vapors, then it diffracted in photographic plate, and after a definite pattern consisting of a number of concentric ring is obtained on the photographic plate. So these are the basic principle of electron diffraction of gases and vapors. Very important schematic diagram of this is so the diffraction of electron by gases and vapors is one of the most important method for measuring bond distance and bond angle. Okay, like example, this is the example of that compound like carbon tetrachloride. This is a bond between Cl and Cl. The bond length is 285 picometer, and the geometric configuration is also find out the geometric configuration of any compound. So this is tetrahedral. And now the sulfur hexafluoride SF6, the bond length between S and F 158 picometer, and the geometry is octahedral. In C2H5 is ethylene. The bond length between C and C bond 133 pm, and the geometry configuration is HCH. Is the bond angle is 115.15 degree. And the fourth important example is CS3Cl, chloromethane. The bond length between bond C and H, the bond length is 111 picometer, and the geometry configuration between HCC bond, the bond angle is 110 degree. So these are the important example of electron diffraction of gases and vapors, because electron diffractions of gases and vapors is very important matter for measuring bond distance and bond length. Okay, now the application portion of this important topic is application of electron diffraction is electron diffraction study of some compound. The first important application is Brockway and Cross suggested tetrahedral structure of nickel carbonyl NiCO4 by electron diffraction method. Okay, so Brockway and Cross, two famous chemists, suggest tetrahedral structure of nickel carbonyl by using electron diffraction method. Okay, so this is a very important application of electron diffraction. Second important application is the internuclear distance NiC and COO bond distance have been found to be 182 plus minus 3 picometer and 115 picometer respectively. This is the second important application. Third is the oxygen bond angle in chlorine non-oxide was found to be 111 degree, and similar method have been applied to determine the shape of other simple molecules. And fourth important application is determination of interatomic distance by electron diffraction study. The interatomic distance in carbon dioxide and 2O carbon suboxide and cyanogen shows the existence of resonance. These are the example of existence of resonance. It's shown by carbon dioxide CO2, it's OC triple bond O plus, and this is the resonance of existence resonance of carbon dioxide. This also shown by it's also very important application of electron diffraction that we get existence of resonance of these compounds, like interatomic distance in carbon dioxide and others. So yeah, the distance between the interatomic distance is shows the existence of resonance. So these are the very important application, and this is the complete discuss about electron diffraction. I hope this concept and this handmade notes will helpful for your exam preparations. So if you find this video is helpful for you, so please stay connected with channel for more videos, and please support, like, share and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching.